Hello, and welcome to Artificial Intelligence, Section 3, Lesson 4, The Fourth Age. Here is our culminating task prompt. Considering the various visions of the future of artificial intelligence portrayed throughout the text of the unit, how might its development be guided to benefit society but minimize harm? Do the benefits to society outweigh the potential harm AI might inflict on humanity? Today you will read an excerpt from Chapter 5 of The Fourth Age to complete your exploration of the philosophy of artificial intelligence. You will discuss the primary viewpoints in the open philosophical question about the nature of the mind and consciousness, and make arguments as to whether consciousness is embedded in the brain or if it is a spiritual property. You will also add details about the philosophy of AI to the Understanding AI tool. For this lesson, you will need your reading response journal, the excerpt from The Fourth Age, Chapter 5, and your Understanding AI tool. Here are the learning targets for this lesson. Can you describe the different perspectives of consciousness and self and how these perspectives relate to artificial intelligence? Can you understand how an author uses text structure to develop his perspective on a topic? You are going to read pages 39 through 44 and 48 through 54 from The Fourth Age. As you do, consider the reading focus. How does the author define consciousness and self? Also, as you read this passage, I want you to consider the following questions. What is the difference between a monist and a dualist? What does each believe? Explain the Mary's room scenario. What is the author illustrating through this scenario? What does the word consciousness mean in relation to people? What does it mean in relation to artificial intelligence? What does the author claim machines and humans have in common? The author uses an analogy using honeybees and ants to describe emergence. Summarize these two analogies and explain how they relate to the concept of emergence. According to the text, is consciousness embedded in the brain, or is it a spiritual property? Why does this matter when discussing the topic of artificial intelligence? You will have 25 minutes to read this passage. With your group and using the shared document, you are going to answer the prompt to determine and analyze the meaning of pages 39 through 44 and 48 through 54 from The Fourth Age. You will write your response on that shared document. You will need to support your response with evidence from the text. How does the organization of this chapter develop the author's perspective on the topic? As you answer this question, I want you to think about the following. How is this chapter organized? What is the author's perspective on artificial intelligence? How do the questions asked in this chapter relate to the topic of artificial intelligence? You will have 10 minutes to complete this activity. You are going to read the prompt. Then, in your reading response journal, you are going to create a draft that addresses the prompt. You will need to be sure to state your claim clearly and provide supporting evidence as you create your draft. The prompt is: the author describes three different definitions of consciousness: an orchestrated process of the brain, an emergent property of the brain, or a soulful property of a being. Based on the definitions and examples in this text, as well as other text read in the unit, make a claim about which definition would be the hardest to replicate using artificial intelligence. In today's lesson, I've posted a sentence stem for your claim. The definition that would be the hardest to replicate using artificial intelligence is blank because blank. Feel free to use that sentence stem to make your claim. You will have 10 minutes to complete your claim and your draft to address the prompt in your reading response journal. Congratulations! You have completed Section 3, Lesson 4 of the Artificial Intelligence Unit. In this lesson, you described the different perspectives of consciousness and self and how these perspectives relate to artificial intelligence. And you explained how an author uses text structure to develop his perspective on a topic.